Welcome to this beanie tutorial. This is the brand that I'm using. Impeccable. Interesting name, yes. Okay, so I decided to end off at 60 chains, right? This is what mine looks like. I wanted to talk about this beanie I attempted to make because I failed. Like, I was supposed to close this up and then like whatever. It's just not what it was supposed to be. And I want to talk about learning through your failures because I was making a tutorial on this, but the thing is I rushed, you know? I didn't try to draft anything, a little prototype, a little rough draft. I didn't do any of that, and I like rushed so quickly into making this, right? And now it's crazy long. It's like actually crazy. Like, you could put your dog in this. This could be a dog sweater. Cut some arm holes, their head comes out. But talking about learning through your failures, right? See, no matter what you're doing, you always need experience in it. No matter if you're gonna do it well or not. Sometimes you do things for the first time and they come out amazing, right? And then other times you have to keep practicing. You have to like learn through your failures, learn through experience to understand what you did wrong and what you can do better for the next time, right? And like, I know a lot of you guys are beginners at crocheting because you tell me you're like struggling or something. That I heard someone. I do. Alright, I'm back. So, you know, I consider myself to be a creative soul. I like to create things, and the thing that I've learned about myself, sorry I'm whispering, there's people. The thing that I've learned about myself is that I like to rush into learning how to do something, right? Something new. Like, other than crocheting, I've designed websites before and all that, and like, I love the creativity juice that goes into it. But I set an expectation for myself, which was bad, right? I would sit down at my computer and be like, I see a reference website, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna recreate this my way in one sitting. And I would push myself so hard, but I overdid it. Making this hat, like, I overdid it. I rushed into making it. I was like, oh, I'm gonna make it so quickly, I'm gonna do it. It's people. I'm gonna do it so quickly that I can have a tutorial by like in 3 days. That didn't happen. Like, the thing is, you have to slowly do things. You have to understand why you're doing it. First, you have to admit that you're failing or admit that you did something wrong. It can be really frustrating to be like, wow, I failed at this, but you admitting that you did something wrong, me admitting that like my first few websites I designed were really ugly, helped me understand what I had to do it better, right? First, you gotta plan. I needed to plan this out, right? When you're making a website and whatever, you kind of need to plan out or do a rough draft of what you're gonna do, like a wireframe and all that, a prototype, right? Before you put all your energy into making something that's gonna be the final, it can't be the final. So whatever you fail at, take it as your rough draft, your experience, your prototype. This was my prototype of a beanie. And like, after doing this, I understood how to make it better for the next time. I was like, oh, okay, don't make it so crazy long. And then the pattern that I used, I had trouble getting it right because I kept getting confused. But through that, listening to me. Through that, I could understand what I did wrong through this pattern. I understand what I did wrong when designing websites. And I could figure out a way how to do it better for the next time and how I could teach people how to do this better. I was rushing this. You cannot rush perfection. You have to have pride in your work also. Like, I could have like tried to fix this really quick and still busted out a video real fast, but it wouldn't have been something I was proud of. You have to make sure those things that you create, if you're a creative person, like to not like half-ass things, because that's a part of your work. That's what you created. You don't want something that's not to your standard, right? So take pride in those things that you fail at because they're all learning experiences. You learn from them, so the next time you do it, it's better. And the other thing I want to say is, just because you failed at something one time or the first few times doesn't mean you suck at it. I made websites quite a few times, and the thing is, I had to be persistent in making things, designing things, understand the foundation of why you're even making it. Before you make it, like, come out with a game plan and then be persistent in telling yourself you're gonna keep doing this until you get it right. Because if you don't keep practicing something, it's not gonna get better. You cannot expect it to be perfect this first time. Only some people, but it's not a common thing. So plan out what you're gonna do, prototype it, make an example, practice, you know? Take pride in what you're making. So make sure whatever you make is up to your standard. It's not half-assed. And then be persistent in what you're doing. If you want to learn how to do something, you have to be persistent. You have to be consistent in learning how to do it and doing a little bit of it every time, every day. It depends on what you want to do. I read this book, Malcolm Gladwell, and I love him. He's a great author. It's a statistic saying how you can become a master at something once you have 10,000 hours of practice. You're only really good at something when you practice it. You can't just like do it once and expect to be great. So failures are good things. They teach you experience. And you see, like, now out of this, I'm gonna make a cat bed for my for my brother's cat, because my dog Nara, where's she? Right there. My dog Nara, she ate his bed, so I have to make him another one. So